Okay, hello, this is Jonathan Rizal and I'm coming at you with 3.6. So this is dasar pendudukan JEPUN di negara kita. Now, quick recap. So chapter 3, we're all talking about konflik dunia dan pendudukan JEPUN. So if you haven't seen already, for 3.5, we dah jelaskan what was the reason, faktor kedatangan JEPUN dan serangan JEPUN. That means, why did the JEPUN come and how did they attack us and how did they successfully get in. So now when we come into dasar pendudukan, the policy, the way the settlement, the Japanese settlement, how did they take over our country, alright? What did they do once they had completely attacked the entire Tanah Melayu, once they had control of everything? So let's jump in, right? We have three aspects to talk about. We have dasar government, so pendidikan, pentadbiran, then dasar ekonomi, and finally dasar social. So I'm gonna move on and start with dasar pentadbiran first. And before we move into everything, look over at page 70, where the first part of the text they tell you, setelah menduduki negara kita, Jepun memperkenalkan sistem pemerintahan Tentera Tanah Melayu. That means, unlike the British with their residence, their gentlemancy, their perjanjian, your Jepun was like ID gaff about all that. There's no time for that. Okay, I'm just gonna take my gun and shove it down your throat and be like, listen or you won't listen. Okay, you listen or you die. That's it. So that is the motif. That is how you should view it. That's very different compared to the British settlement. So, dasar pemerintahan daripada Panglima Agung Japanese Southern Army untuk dilaksanakan di Tanah Melayu, Sarawak dan Sabah. Pass through, that's fine, not as important. Coming to this one, when we jelaskan, right, there are three aspects of it, the dasar pentadbiran. One is for the pentadbiran terhadap your tentera Jepun. Then your dasar terhadap raja-raja Melayu, your Malay kings. Then dasar terhadap kepimpinan tempatan. That means your, we can call it your kampung leaders lah, you punya ketua kampung of them. So let's start here first with your government tentera Jepun. So how did they bermula? Okay, tentera Jepun memperkenalkan pemerintahan we talked about this. Now, pada peringkat awal, so at the beginning, awalnya, okay, Tanah Melayu gabung dengan Sumatera. Tanah Melayu and Sumatra is where you might be wondering. That is your, we can say Sumatra is close to Indonesia, that section. So they had gabungkan together. Gabung, right? Okay, maybe gabung, I will write like this. I will put this symbol. Sumatera. Now, why did they do this? Kenapa? Kerana digabungkan dengan Sumatera di bawah satu pentadbiran, under one government system. Okay? Yang membentuk satu only. Okay? We didn't have separate ways to govern the these two countries, right? Now, what else they say? Untuk membentuk kawasan pertahanan khas. Let me use blue for this. Kawasan pertahanan khas. Okay, bawa pentadbiran pasukan tentera Jepun ke-25, the 25th military service, okay, dan berpusat di Singapura. You really know, right? Singapura was the base, the military, marine military base for the British. So it is understandable why they would reuse this location as their punya pusat. So let me put here berpusat. And one thing I forgot to mention really quick, right? Compared to all your chapters in 3.6, in chapter 3, 3.6 would be the kurang important one, as in like, you will, this is not as common, so I will be going through a little bit brushly about this. Okay, going a bit fast. Now, moving onwards from here, awalnya, right? What happened on April 1944? Okay, 1944 lah, remember this? Okay, right? 4月1944年, Tanah Melayu dan Sumatera ditadbir secara berasingan. Alamak, now they don't want to rule it, they don't want to have these two places together, okay? And Sumatra, they're like, okay, actually no, bad idea. We akan do everything berasingan. Asingan, okay, you have your own individual things, okay? Sebabnya, why? Perbezaan sistem politik dan ekonomi. Because these places, they don't have the same political system. Okay? Perbezaan sistem politik. They were under different colonizers, for goodness sake, right? Thus, they will have very, very different political systems and economic systems. Okay, one might be richer than the other and all. Yang ketara antara pentadbiran British dan Belanda. Like we said, two different colonizers, two different government systems. Then they tell you, okay, over at Sumatra ditadbir oleh pasukan tentera Jepun ke-25. Never change, huh? And berpusat di Bukit Tinggi Sumatera. For Tanah Melayu, they have it at the pasukan tentera Jepun ke-29 at the 29th. Okay, so Indonesia, or we call this Sumatra, kept the 25th Army, right? But we have the 29th Army. And berpusat di mana? Taiping. Okay, here's a fun fact. I used to think Taiping was a place in China or Taiwan. No, it's in Perak, guys. Chill. Okay, berpusat kat sini. Now why? Why not at Singapura? Oh, they tell you, they're like, don't worry man, chill, I got the answer for you. This is why. Coming at the bottom here, let me use my blue pen for this. Okay, Singapura yang dikenali sebagai Shonanto. I cannot speak Japanese, just run with it, okay? Singapura, put Sing here, is your Shonanto. Ayo, Shonanto, holy shit. Freak me. How do you pronounce this? I didn't even write it well. What the freak, man? There you go. Okay, Shonanto, Pulau Cahaya Selatan. Well, your Selatan means the what do you call this? The south side, and then Cahaya means light, right? So it's like, whoa, this like enchanting, this bright island. Okay, Singapura diasingkan. Diasingkan, that means Singapore was not even put under Tanah Melayu nor Sumatera. Now why? They don't tell you why, but simple reason, Singapore is rich. Full stop. Next, okay. Pentadbiran Tanah Melayu dikenali sebagai Malai Baru. Malai Baru, okay. Government of TM was known as Malai Baru. How to remember this? The Chinese word lo, Malai and the Malai Baru. Now, we can also call it Melayu Baru lah. Then for Perlis Kedah Kelantan dan Terengganu, this Perlis Kedah, which is on the top, the northern side, Kelantan and Terengganu is on your timur, your eastern side, dipindah ke pentadbiran kerajaan Thailand. They're like, okay, I digraph about these states. Perlis, Kedah, Kelantan, Terengganu, all of you shipped over to Thailand. Remember, because Thailand helped the JEPUN to take over everything. Then for Sarawak, Sabah, and Borneo, okay, so a little bit more important, Sarawak, Sabah, and Borneo digabungkan. Okay, you guys all one pentadbiran. Satu unit pentadbiran dikenali sebagai Kita Borneo. Now, Borneo. Now, is this a Japanese thing? I'm actually unsure about this, but hey, 我们是 Borneo, 我们是 Borneo 人 amazing. Dan dia punya ketua diketuai oleh siapa? Diketuai oleh Gubernur Jeneral serta diletakkan di bawah pasukan tentera Jepun ke-37 yang berpusat di Kuching. I would choose to remember where the pusat is compared to like which army is it under, but that's up to you if you like to memorize that. So that is all, okay, for your which part? Tentera Jepun, how the military system went, okay? We used to highlight the military system. Now I want to move on, right? From here, I want to go on to your Raja Melayu. Okay, what about your monarchy system? What's going on there? Okay, you can imagine, right? The story is very short, very simple. See, pentadbiran tentera Jepun mengiktirafkan. It's a bit special. Your Jepun, right? What do you do? Iktiraf for shit. They recognized your kedudukan Raja Melayu. Which is special, right? Because they didn't exactly do that, did they? For the British towards the Raja Melayu, they didn't exactly have any respect for them. So, di persidangan, the 会议, like a meeting, right? Raja-Raja Tanah Melayu dan Sumatra di Singapura. This is back when your Sumatra, Tanah Melayu, and Singapore were all combined under one unit. Remember over here? All combined under one unit. The Kawasan Pertahanan Khas. Okay, then what happened? Here they say, Raja Melayu sebagai ketua. They can be the leaders. Okay, here's a keyword then. Your Raja Melayu, I'm just going to put this symbol lah. Raja Melayu are ketuas. Under what? Now, you don't be fooled, right? They're still colonizers. You really think you're like, oh my god, I recognize you, give you all the power. No lah. What they're gonna do is, you're sebagai ketua in what? Hal ehwal agama Islam dan adat Melayu. Oh my days. This is something you have seen since Form 3. It's been repeating all over again. So yes, your Japanese might be Asian people. That doesn't mean they're any different from the British. Boom. That's it. Then what else? They're like, okay, maybe that sounds a little bit too like deja vu, right? Let me give you extra things like diberikan bayaran pension. Okay, bayaran pension, like your pension. So you're given money lah, essentially. Seperti sebelum perang, meaning what? This is exactly what the British did as well. So in our terms, although we say mengiktirafkan, is no difference between the way the British did it and the Japanese did it. Okay, now kedudukan sultan diletakkan di bawah pengawasan. Pengawasan means under the, what do you call it? The, not control, but I would say under the perhatian, the watch of your Governor JEPUN. So, do you think something really changed? Not really lah. So if I were to memorize anything, this one is easy to memorize because you've repeated this since Form 3, okay? Boom, to the next one. Dasar kepimpinan tempatan. Okay, now we're talking about your local leaders. Now, pentadbiran tentera Jepun memberikan peluang. Wow, opened up, gave you opportunities. Peluang. Oh, apa? Kenaikkan pangkat. Wah, ni kaya upgrade bro. Ni kaya you boleh jadi, you boleh jadi what? You can be higher officials. You can get higher raise. Okay. Kepada pemimpin tempatan yang berpendidikan dan I can't speak anymore. Berpengalaman. That means if you are both educated. They don't specify what kind of education lah. And then berpengalaman, if you have experience. So you're not just educated, but you're like 10 years old. Tak boleh. Apa? Untuk kejawatan yang lebih tinggi. Wow, you can get a promotion. Okay, I'll just put jawatan. Then we'll put this tinggi. Okay, you understand, right? Now, what else? The tujuannya, why do they want to do this, right? Why are they being so generous?一定有原因的. It's always a reason. Number one, mengatasi masalah kekurangan pegawai. That's right. They don't have enough people. And they're not going to send their own Japanese people over here, right? Some stupid land all over Asia Tenggara, ID gap, bro. I'm going to get some local person to do it. Then what else? Untuk mendapatkan sokongan penduduk. At the same time, it's like killing two birds with one stone. If I let local people work here, the penduduk, right, they will be like, oh, I support you. I love Japanese. Something like that. Sokongan. Then, what else did they do? Well, there was also the penubuhan koa kunrenjo. I cannot speak Japanese, just excuse that. Koa, penubuhan. Now, what is this? Ataupun the institusi latihan pemimpin-pemimpin muda. That means this is like a training center, academy in a sense. Okay? Koa Kunrenjo di Singapura, Melaka dan Pulau Pinang. These three states are familiar, right? This is technically, by technicality, your NNS. But since this is under the Japanese, they won't call it NNS anymore. They want to give it their own unique name. But just remember, NNS 有什么 Melaka, Singapura, Penang. Okay. Or memorize this as SPM if you want. SPM, but of course going by the traditional order, Penang was first lah. Now, coming back here. To your Koa Kunrenjo, why do they have this? Okay, we know it's a training session, right? Institusi latihan. What apa though? Latih what? Latih how to karate? No lah. Melatih to train and to tanam. Oh, this word. Remember the propaganda thing? Menanamkan semangat what? Semangat. Semangat. Memperjuangkan means to fight for cita-cita politik Jepun, to fight for the political dreams of Japan. Alamak. Juangkan. Cita-cita, remember, meaning dreams. Cita-cita politik Jepun dalam kalangan penduduk tempatan. Okay. Now what else? Lulusan diberikan jawatan dalam pentadbiran kerajaan. Meaning, you might come here and you're like, why would I want to go to your Koa Kunrenjo? What the phrase is for? If you pass, I bagi you job, lulusan, right, you dapat jawatan. Then suddenly when people are like, wait, I want salary, I want to live, I want money. So thus, you have penduduk tempatan join lah. That's why. In the government system, right, it's a high paying job. Okay, understood? These are the 3 factors. Honestly, just a pass by, not as important. If I were to remember any of these 2 lah. Okay, this one, DGAF, that one, how about that? But I won't put a star because even this chapter is not that important. Coming down to your dasar economy. Economy will be short, so let's go through this. Right, look at page 71 still. Okay. Now look over here, right? Akibat, this is the first thing to say. Akibat kemelesatan ekonomi. Now I want to correct myself. In previous videos, I've mentioned kemelesatan for the World War I, right? I said this as shrinkage. That's not actually the correct term. It's actually called a recession. So please change the way you view this word. It's recession. I don't know where I got shrinkage from. Probably the trash Google Translate, so I got it from. Now, melaksanakan sistem ekonomi kawalan. Kawalan means to control, 控制. So because there's an economic recession going on in the country, they're like, shit, we need to control this. So melaksanakan sistem ekonomi kawalan. Now, what are the 4 things they did, right? Number 1, rancangan pengeluaran 5 tahun. Now, the important thing is actually these facts, because the huraian is like, pass through only, right? So listen closely. Rancangan means the plan. Oh no, I cut it off. Plan, pengeluaran, to 出产, to produce something, production, for 5 years. What apa? To mengawal selia. Selia means your trading item, trading items. So your barang dagangan. Pelupusan barangan. Keyword here is to kawal, because like we just said, right, they use the system economy kawalan. You want to kawal your selia and whatever. Now, what else did they do, right? They also had the jawatan kuasa penyelidikan bahan. Jawatan kuasa is like the status, penyelidikan is to research. So like if we say research and development, we say penyelidikan. Dan bahan, items. So for what? They can tell you in the textbook, untuk diperkenalkan untuk membuat penyelidikan kegunaan baharu bagi sumber tempatan. Keyword here, kegunaan baharu, new usage for the sumbers that are here, the local sumber here. Mean they open this whole thing, right? What apa? You want to research, you want to menyelidikkan. What's the ways we can use in the sense of manipulate lah. You just want to exploit, but let's use the nice word, kegunaan baharu, new ways to use your sumber tempatan, you punya local stuff. I want to find a way to make more money. Well, they don't say that. Sumber tempatan, okay, kegunaan baharu. Next thing, the rancangan perindustrian 5 tahun. You might recognize a trend between 5 tahun. Why? Because I think, well, you should know that the Japanese did not take over Malaysia for as long as, say, the British did. The British took over for 200 years plus, man. But even then, 5 years was a very, very big dream of them. But they were trying to start small, according to them, small, and then go big, go home, right? Now, your rancangan perindustrian 5 tahun buat apa? Membangunkan industri tempatan to almost help to... Bangunkan means what? Like make something better. I cannot think of the better word for this. Make something better. The industries, the local industries, and memastikan penggunaan optimum. This word again, penggunaan. Remember, this is a cover word for what they're really trying to do. Something more evil. Okay, but let's not say that lah. I'm on the side of Japanese, right? Optimum, 最佳, the best, the optimal thing, right? Daripada peralatan dan kemudahan sedia ada. Meaning, right, they're trying to find the most optimum way to use guna all of your shit in the industry using the peralatan dan kemudahan you already have. That means, are they trying to build new things? Sedia ada means you already have or before the Japanese come. So no, they're trying to just exploit what you already have. They're like, ITCAF bro, just use what you have and then make the most money possible. Now, we go into something I find one of my favorite points here. It's not particularly important, but I think it's just so goofy. We have the mata wang JEPUN, right? They decided to print out a different currency. Okay, so here, mata wang JEPUN dicetak menggantikan mata wang yang digunakan oleh British. Like, I am anti-penjajah, I am anti-British, I hate imperialisme British Barat. Okay, so I'm not using their money. So this is mata wang, that means currency. Jepun dicetak, and they use it what? They use this money called the wang pokok pisang. Wang pokok pisang. For fun, I don't know, the banana tree, because a lot of banana trees in Malaysia. Whoopee! Yoo! Now, why is this so funny to me? Because the way they printed out this money, right, was it went haywire. It kind of exploded in Japanese faces. Why do I say that? Is because, see, the way they printed money, right, dicetak tanpa kawalan, which is very ironic, don't you think? Kenapa I cakap very ironic? Sebab kat sini dia cakap, wah kawalan, I'm gonna control everything. Control this lah, control your pengeluaran lah, your perindustrian lah. Then when it comes to currency, they just printed more money. Now, have you ever had that question? Why can't we print more money? Easy. I've explained inflation once before, but I think economy is a very interesting subject. You should take up if you want to. So what is up with inflation is that you cannot print more money because, right, let's say to buy, okay, use banana because like the mata wang is banana, right? Let's say I want to buy banana, okay, RM3. Okay, but let's say, if I print more money, that means, right, the banana, right, I only have 5 bananas still. So even though someone can have 30 ringgit, right, I still can only sell them 5 bananas at maximum. So they're like, you know what? I don't want to buy 5 bananas for 3 ringgit. I want to buy them for 300 ringgit. And then some other guys like, wait, I also want banana. Then I will pay for 3,000 ringgit. What is this causing? This means that instead of thinking it's a good thing, like, wow, you're earning a lot of money. No, because a banana is a very small thing. And you're only buying 5. You're not buying 500 with them, buying 5. Meaning that the value of the money itself is dropping. That because if before you could buy 5 bananas with 3 ringgit, now you have to pay 3,000 ringgit to buy the same amount of bananas. It's not a good thing for you because, well, your money is losing its value. So they give you a slight definition in your textbook over at page 71 under the picture of the currency. Dia cakap, mata wang dicetak tanpa kawalan menyebabkan berlaku inflasi kerana terlalu banyak wang. You have too much money and tetapi kekurangan barangan di pasaran. Not enough resources to be sold in your marketplace. So you see how that's a bad thing? This is my personal favorite fact about this mata wang thing because I think economy is very fun. But that's up to you. Which one you want to remember? Up to you lah. Okay. Move on to the final part. Okay, dasar social, quite heavy, right? Dasar social is a very long, lengthy thing. So let's go through this. Number 1, when we talk about social, right, what are things that affect the people? We're usually referring to the masyarakat. That's my 3 stick figures. Number 1, we have to talk about the education. Pendidikan. Okay, so what did JEPUN do? You should know already that JEPUN hate one specific kaum, one specific race. Chinese, they hate the Chinese with their burning guts, bro. 看到 Chinese 就要爆炸了. So what did they do? JEPUN, right, first thing they came on to Malaysia, they're like, hey, I see that China school I don't like, but kecuali China school, what did they also not like, right? They also tutup the English school. They already don't like the mata wang English, right? They were like, ew, I'm not gonna use the same money that was used by the British, and I'm gonna do the same thing for their school. So menutup sekolah, I'm gonna put like this, English, spell it the BM way, and the Chinese. What for? Bangunan itu digunakan untuk keperluan pentadbiran tentera JEPUN. They're like, okay, this building I use for pentadbiran lah. Okay, I will not use it to educate my glorious children here. No. Okay, it's a shutdown. You know, when we pull up, you know, it's a shutdown. Moving on. Then, sistem persekolahan JEPUN diperkenalkan. They're like, okay, you don't study that one China one, don't study dia punya English. No, I have better education for you. Sistem persekolahan JEPUN. What do they teach? Okay, this one, right, if you look over, they give you quite a lot of facts, right? As you can see, diperkenalkan untuk membentuk this, mencapai this, meningkat this, okay. There are technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 points, right? 7 different points. Do you need to know 7 of them? No lah. Just pick what you want to remember. So I'm going to run through them. Membentuk semangat persaudaraan sejagat. That means like they say you haku ichu. They might ask you this in the objective questions. Semangat persaudaraan. You all feel like a family. You're all united together. Trend chill. Alright. Just in the whole world wide, we all feel connected to each other. Next one, mencapai teknologi industri. Okay, your industrial technology, what will be better loh? Meningkatkan disiplin. I would choose to remember this lah, because when we associate things with the Japanese, the stereotype is they're very disciplined. Okay, and I think the stereotype has some truth value in it, so I would choose to remember this. Then what else can you remember? Menerapkan nilai Jepun. You know, your semangat Bushido lah, whatever lah, yeah, that. So I will also choose to remember this, menerapkan nilai Jepun, the values of the Japanese. What else? Untuk memupuk semangat Asia. Memupuk means to almost push out, 推广 the semangat Asia. You know, the propaganda. So yes, I think this is also a fun thing to remember, because you can connect with your Asia untuk orang Asia, or the semangat Asia. Okay, then what else? Menghapuskan, to destroy, get rid, completely wipe out. Okay, hapuskan what? Your pengaruh Barat. I don't want any kind of Barat influence, because remember, your Japanese kecuali hate the Chinese, they also hate the British people, the Barat people. Finally, menanam kesetiaan kepada Jepun. I would also choose to remember this one, because again, it's like a very direct thing. You would know that if I come over here, I want everyone to be loyal to Japanese, so you won't betray me. Okay. Now, personally, what's the most important one you can remember? I would choose this one. Was it the discipline? It's a very short one too. You know, oh, that's too bright. Okay, so okay lah, discipline. Okay, then semangat Asia. This one. Okay. Now, I'm not done yet with education, am I? We have a final point. I'm gonna go down here. Okay. What else? We have to talk about the ciri-ciri sistem persekolahan Jepun. Okay. So this one is a very, very side thing, because they put it at the side of your textbook some more. So let's just read through it, okay? Pendidikan menekankan semangat Jepun, Nippon Seishin. Don't know what that means. Maybe I'll learn Japanese one day. Menghormati kebudayaan dan Maharaja Jepun. Tenno Heka. Okay, you should know they have a king, thus I want you to honor the king and such. Moving onwards. Pengajaran bahasa Jepun. Nippon Go. It's kind of funny to me, you know, Nippon paint the company, yes, that's a Japanese company. That's how you can connect the points. So it's all taught in Bahasa Jepun. Of course, I'm not gonna teach you this in English or Chinese or anything, right? Then Bahasa Jepun, right? They want to dijalankan secara meluas, so that Bahasa Jepun can become your lingua franca. This one you've seen in your Form 2 before, I don't remember. So Alam Melayu, they're like, Bahasa Melayu might have been your lingua franca. How likely is that? Okay, dalam lingkungan sekemakmuran Asia Timur Raya. This one you see before, right? You've already seen this in your 3.4. It's like a cut back to it. Now, sekolah bermula dengan perhimpunan. You have your perhimpunan, meaning your 周会. Okay, your, I was going to say recess, not recess. What do you call it? Your assembly. There you go. Pagi menghadap arah negara Jepun dan menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Jepun, Kimi Gayo. Boom, that's it. Moving on. Sikap Jepun terhadap agama. Okay, very short. Let's go through this. Bagi membentuk kegiatan penentangan terhadap pendudukan Jepun, to stop or obstruct from the idea, right, of the kegiatan penentangan. I don't want the people to fight against me, right? It's not very desirable. So as you remember, right, for 3.1, the first thing you learned was that the British, right, they introduced the enactment Undang-Undang Islam. Hey, cannot print about Islam. You cannot even do anything about Islam. Okay, no Islam. Thus, everyone was PMO, bro. PMO everyone, every Malay person in there, every Muslim person. Thus, your Japanese like, whoa, I'm just going to not do that. So instead, what did your Japanese do? They did 3 things. Number 1, menghormati agama Islam dan adat Melayu serta tidak campur tangan dalam adat resam tempatan. They were like, you know what? I'm gonna hormat, you know, be very respectful, menghormati you punya agama Islam and your adat Melayu. The things that they left the Sultan to do, remember? Tidak campur tangan some more. I won't put my hand inside. Sorry, I cannot draw a hand. So, okay, you put your hand, this is a hand. No, the thumb, okay, and it's only got very funky fingers. Number 2, what else did they do? Kelas pengajian Al-Quran di sekolah agama diteruskan semula. Okay, why so? Why do we say diteruskan semula? Because remember, you're British with their law. Enactment undang-undang Islam. I don't want anything regarding to Islam. So your Japanese were like, easy fix. I'm just gonna bring the class back. Then everyone's like, oh my god, Japan, you are a savior. Okay, jadi wala semula. Then your third point, Majlis Agama Islam dibentuk dan persidangan agama Islam diadakan di Singapura dan Kuala Kangsar. If I'm not wrong, Kuala Kangsar is Perak, by the way. So that means that they had this other majlis, this meeting agama Islam. So everyone was like, whoa, 原来日本人这样好的. And you can see at the side, right? Is it there? Where? Okay, yeah. Pentadbiran tentera Jepun secara halus, okay, it's very ching, memanipulasi pegawai agama untuk tujuan propaganda Jepun. See, by doing all of this, right, at the same time, what were they doing? They were pushing, right, they were almost manipulating the agama leaders to be like, pegawai agama to promote my propaganda untuk tujuan propaganda Jepun. Dan pegawai agama menyampaikan hal diputuskan oleh tentera Jepun. So, while you were in your kelas agama di masjid dan surau, your pegawai agama will also be like, guys, you can imagine like after the prayers, you'll be like, okay, I also want to pray and thank Japanese because they give us back our school. Then you brainwash everyone there lor. Everyone confirm kena brainwash. Okay, I don't know why all their legs very geli lah, but that's it. Coming to the next point, Jatuhan penghasilan makanan. Come, let's look over to the next. Is it the same page? Sorry, next same page. See, did I miss something? I did miss something. Hold on, come back. Not only were you getting brainwashed, masjid digunakan untuk menyampaikan titah sultan to the masjid, which is like the place they pray in, the mosque, digunakan untuk menyampaikan titah sultan, the perintah, the word, the orders of the sultan, that you should support the Japanese policy. Wow, sultan say we should support. I think we really should. Seperti menambah pengeluaran makanan dan tidak menyebar kabar angin. To menambah pengeluaran makanan, just 出产 more 食物 more food for the Japanese. Then tidak menyebar kabar angin, don't spread any rumors. No, we love Japanese. Okay, now we can come up to this, Jatuhan dan penghasilan makanan. How was the food treated, right? If anyone likes food, hey, makanan, but unfortunately this is not delicious food because this is under like the Japanese settlement. You can imagine what food tasted like. So, or over here, pentadbiran tentera Jepun memperkenalkan, they introduced this thing called the Ordinan Kawalan Barangan dan Bahan Penting. Okay, give me a second to write this. Kawalan means, again, to control. This word we see so many times already, right? You've seen this repeatedly. Now, Bahan Penting. Now, what's so disturbing about this law? See, untuk mengawal bekalan barangan akibat kekurangan makanan. See, they were controlling the amount of food you could have, the amount of things you could have, to the point where it resulted in a food shortage. Do you see that? That terrifying. They were like, okay, save, stop eating so much, stop buying so much food, consume less, no more consumerism, to the point where there's no food anymore. Now, jatuhan makanan dikuatkuasakan. They had a whole checklist, a whole chart to what you should eat untuk mengawal penjualan barangan keperluan asas. Let me hold it here, right? They had this thing called the jatuhan makanan, so that they could control the things that you were buying, like beras, your 米饭, you punya not yet rice lah, uncooked rice. Okay, your patty. Why am I saying 米饭? Okay, 米, not rice yet. Garam, your salt dan gula. Kat jatuhan makanan, right? They see on the side, they give you a picture of it. Now, dikeluarkan oleh pejabat kawalan makanan untuk merekodkan tarikh jenis dan kuantiti barang yang diperoleh penduduk. Meaning that they were recording, okay, you, Mr. Adam Ang, okay, you, your family, only you are so sad. Okay, then you can only have half a bag of rice, half a bag of beras. And you're like, this is the last meal for 3 months. And they're like, did I stutter? Okay, the next one. Oh, you are Mr. Chad Chu. You are also one, but oh, you got what? Jonathan. You got Trevor. Got wife. Someone. Okay. I give you a quarter of rice, and you're like, hey, what do you mean? Sorry lah. I give you 7%. Hey, what the freak am I doing? 7%. And you're like, wait, that's even less than Adam. And like, I know. Because Adam came first. And you're like, this is bullshit. And and they're like, exactly, it's bullshit. Sorry, this is not funny. Moving onwards. There is then a campaign, right? They tell you over there. So, pentadbiran tentera Jepun juga menggalakkan penduduk menanam bahan makanan sendiri melalui kempen tambah lebih banyak makanan. So they're like, okay, I hear you. Example, your chat, right? And you have a wife, somewhere you have Trevor. Okay, sorry, you have a husband called Trevor. Then your husband got another husband called Mai, okay, got an aunt. And you're like, see, there's so many people in my family. There's not enough food. So, they menggalakkan you to plant your own food. I'm like, okay, no, go plant or go be a farmer. Don't look at me for food. Next thing, I tell you, what happened was having these ridiculous rules caused one big thing. We call this the keperitan hidup. That means they were living in misery. Okay, keperitan, 很辛苦. Okay, it was devastating. Menjadikan penduduk lebih kreatif dalam kehidupan. Okay, they're like, okay, this is seriously not enough. I cannot they stopped me from buying more rice, and I can't plant that much. So they had to use their imagination, which is quite a sad thing lah, honestly. So mereka berdikari, berdiri di atas tapak kaki sendiri dan menghasilkan ciptaan baharu, create new products, new ideas berasaskan bahan tempatan untuk kelangsungan hidup. All of this just to survive. Seperti tepe daripada biji getah. I don't have a picture for this, but it's like a fried keropok almost. Actually, it doesn't taste like a 没有那样好吃啦, but you get what I mean. It's rubber also. Who eats rubber? You can imagine just how much it tastes. Going to our final point. Okay, done with the food. Final one, the longest one, layanan terhadap penduduk. Why is it the longest one? Because this is the most devastating one. Okay, guys, buckle up. So, layanan berbeza-beza mengikut kaum. Shit, law, you're Japanese, they're racist. Of course. Okay, mengikut your kaum. Alamak. Let me put the keyword here, beza-beza. So, what did we tell you? Number one, we have the layanan baik, right? This is very short already. See, tentera Jepun memberikan layanan baik, the good one, although that's not a thumbs up. A good one to who? Layanan baik terhadap, sorry, I can't read anymore. Kepada orang Melayu serta peribumi lain yang bekerja sama dengan Jepun. Okay, most notably your orang Melayu. You can see this from the agama already, right? Because they are the main majority, so they're trying to push like everyone support me by having all the Melayu support me. Then serta peribumi, that means the local people are usually referring to Sarawak. We say peribumi. Yang bekerja sama, that means even if you don't work together, right, you're not getting layanan baik from them. Okay, but on the early stage, most people were already like on board with this whole Japanese idea. Tujuannya untuk mendapatkan sokongan masyarakat peribumi bagi melicinkan pemerintahan, to smoothen out the way they control. Now what else? Okay. Membantu orang India, to help the Indian people. Doing what? Menubuhkan tentera kebangsaan India. Majority tentera kebangsaan India di tanah Melayu dan Borneo Utara. Okay, their pimpinan, it was under a guy called Subhas Chandra Bose. Then orang India digalakkan untuk menyertai untuk kemerdekaan negara India. Why? Because India has not been colonized by the Japanese. It was by siapa? Your British people. So they're like, yes, go against the British. Tujuannya mendapatkan kerjasama orang India dalam rancangan menguasai negara India. They're like, I support you. Set yourself free from the British. And then come join me. Let me control you. But they didn't say that outright. So this is for layanan. We would say layanan baik, right? Now let's come to your layanan kejam. If you don't know this Malay word, I beg you to learn it now. Kejam means cruel. The cruel treatment to orang Cina. Buckle up. Let's go. Lanjutan permusuhan. Itu they had a lot of rivalry against them daripada perang Cina-Jepun because of the war before this. Okay. So what does this thing like? What am I saying about the layanan, right? This cruel treatment. What does it contain? Well, dipaksa membayar sejumlah wang sebagai hukuman penentangan mereka semasa perang Cina-Jepun. They were forced to pay a bunch of money. Okay, bayar sejumlah wang. Okay. Sebagai hukuman, as a punishment, penentangan mereka for fighting back during the war where the Japanese took over China. Now, kaum Cina mengalami this word kesengsaraan, also the agony, just the absolute misery, lebih teruk. Okay, it was worth it. You have to remember this, lebih teruk daripada any other bangsa Melayu, India serta peribumi di Sarawak dan Sabah. Now this one, they didn't ask me to say this, but fun fact, did you know there's a dish called xiamen? I mean, if you go to like Penang states, they will call this Futian Mian, Hokkien Mee, but xiamen are the one that's very spicy. Okay, that one. You know, it contains a bunch of shrimp shells because during the Japanese installment, right, they had like the shrimp meat was just not available for them, so they had no food. They had kekurangan makanan, or like just kehabisan makanan, no food at all. So they cooked with the shells of the shrimp instead of the actual shrimp itself. So that particular dish was born out of just the same cruelty that happened in the Japanese. Fun fact, right? If you go onto highways these days, you might see like a funny road called like Jalan Mati, like Jalan Potong Kepala, like road cut off your head. And this is because those were roads named by the Japanese during the settlement. So just for you to know, they won't ask you. Now, bukti. What did I say? Bukti means the evidence. For the kekejaman, the cruelty pentadbiran tentera Jepun, this one, landasan kereta api maut. Okay, let me do fire. That means a train, okay? Maut means what? Corpses. It's getting serious, guys. Melayu, Cina dan India dipaksa menjadi buruh membina landasan kereta api. So even not all Malay people and all Indian people had it great. This was to people who did not work together with the Japanese. So the Melayu, Cina, and India. Okay. Dalam pembinaan, ramai terkorban. Terkorban means sacrifice. A lot of people were sacrificed akibat kerja berat, kekurangan makanan dan ubat-ubatan, pelbagai jenis penyakit serta suasana buruk di tempat kerja. It was a horrible state, okay? Heavy work lah, we're running out of food shortage, they're running out of medicine, and there's a bunch of sicknesses being spread due to the horrible horrible situation of their workplace. Then they also tell you, landasan kereta api dibina sejauh 415 km, 415 km dari Thailand ke Burma, the current Myanmar, melalui hutan tebal tropika dan pergunungan. All man-made, not a single bit of technology to help them. Built purely on slavery. Tenaga kerja terdiri daripada 200,000 slaves paksa dari negara Asia Tenggara and 60,000 tawanan perang. That means slaves that were war prizes. They were captured during war by the pihak bersekutu. Pihak bersekutu is referring to what? Bersekutu is your Amerika Syarikat, your British, your Belanda, your Perancis, your Russia. Okay? Terrible dark time. Then you see on the side here, kekejaman tentera Jepun terhadap masyarakat awam digambarkan dalam novel Nyawa di Hujung Pedang. This means your life, like nyawa, di hujung is at the front of a sword, pedang. Novel tersebut berdasarkan kisah sebenar, a real story about a pemuda Melayu that was captured, ditangkap dan diseksa. Okay, this word. Seksa means tortured oleh Kempetai kerana difitnah terlibat dalam gerakan menentang Jepun. Difitnah means the accused of. So, no actual evidence behind it lah. Beliau terselamat apabila tentera Jepun menyerah kalah. This person was only safe once the Japanese surrendered, because after the little bomb and fat man and everything. So Kempetai Jepun kemudian dihukum gantung oleh tentera British. The British people did something right, which is where they they hung all of the people, all of the Kempetai. So before we go on to the end, right, before we finish this, we just mentioned Kempetai. You might be asking me, what is that? Or so come here. Kempetai. Am I spelling it right? Yes, I am. Right, guys? Dun 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 dun. Why did I give you the definition? Hello. On page 70, there you go. Kempetai. Now, who are these people? Kempetai merupakan pasukan polis tentera. So they were your military force that worked as the police. Now, tujuannya is to menjaga kepentingan, the honor, the importance of the government system of Japanese, the soldier kind of government system lah. Okay. So, pasukan ini bertindak ganas, kejam dan menyiksa dan membunuh sesiapa yang disyaki sebagai anti pentadbiran tentera Jepun. Cruel things what they did. Bertindak ganas means they were rough, they were violent, and they were cruel when they tortured and killed. People, sesiapa yang disyaki means people who were suspects, okay? So, not actual foolproof evidence. Sebagai anti pentadbiran tentera Jepun. That means I think you're against Jepun, that means I get to kill you and assault you and all of these things. Terrible, terrible lives. And that is a heavy subject, and that is also the end of your 3.6. Remember, this is just a fast go through because this chapter is not as important. Thank you so much, and I will see you then for 3.7. Still not a bright topic, okay? We might only see brightness like once you graduate, once you finish SPM, but that's all. Thank you.